Hello, my name is Richie Hinton. I'm the CEO of Landscaping Victoria. I just wanted to take this opportunity to announce that we have reached an incredible milestone in the history of the Front Garden podcast, ticking over 75,000 downloads. That's an incredible achievement for what started off as a side experiment really during COVID. We're really proud to have hit that target, and we thank all our guests, our incredible hosts, Chris Weiss, Tyson Owen, and now Adam Hompas. Thanks to all our listeners, and look forward to another 100 plus episodes. And now, without further ado, let's get into the next episode.
Welcome to the Front Garden, brought to you by Coolabah Turf. Visit Victoria's premium instant turf supplier at coolturf.com.au.
Welcome to the Front Garden podcast, brought to you by Landscaping Victoria, proudly supported by Coolabah Turf. I'm your host, Adam Hompas, and this is a show for anyone who lives and breathes landscaping. Whether you're on the tools, running the business, or just starting out, we're here to talk landscaping career journeys, industry trends, and everything in between. Thanks for joining me. And today, we're here with Curl and Gabe from Madewell Products. Welcome, guys.
G'day, Adam. Nice to be here, mate.
G'day, Adam.
So Madewell specialise in the concrete construction industry, mainly with the tools. So do you guys want to have a chat about how that all came about?
One of our formwork systems started about 10 years ago now, and then took it over to the States and got a bit of movement there and tried to sort of get it off the ground here in Australia, and took some time. And then when our contractors here in Australia saw it in America, they wanted it more here. So funny enough, we had it in Australia, went to America, and then when we brought it back to Australia, I was like, oh, that's that stuff from the US. We want to see it, right? So,
yeah, right.
So there was a bit of that at the start, and that's what sort of started Madewell Products. It started from a formwork system, heavily sort of used in the commercial and residential space.
Yep.
So going back a few steps, our managing director and founder, Jared, was working as a contractor, and then obviously come up with this formwork system as a necessity. It was a lot, he was pushing a sustainability trend 10 years ago, right, which was reducing lumber and star pickets, so it was a reusable formwork. And he was sort of travelling around the country at that stage, promoting his formwork system after hours and on weekends with contractors, and still concreting and pouring some serious residential slabs week in, week out. And then he sort of had this turning point where it got too busy to manage both, and sort of took the leap of faith. And a year later, we started Madewell Products off the back of our formwork system back then. But yeah, nothing has changed in the last 6 years, Adam. It's all been the necessity, contractor first. And he's always been, the contractor that was always sort of left sometimes last in the journey or the build journey. So we said we want to definitely change that and make sure it's always contractor first, no matter what stage of, whether it's engineering or design or any part of the build process. We always think about the contractor and sort of live and breathe that from day one. So Madewell Product was formed back then, and that was the core of what we wanted to take to market. And obviously starting with sustainable and innovative products, we sort of led down that journey. And
awesome.
A big part of it was sort of, moving into sort of from a design all the way to a measure perspective and everything in between, and sort of try and own those spaces with innovative and sustainable products that either only Madewell do or Madewell promote and push into the Australian construction market.
So you guys do the design all through to the production side of things?
In some cases. So what you'll start finding now 6 or 7 years on is we're starting to branch out from brands that people have already been established, whether they're from the US, offshore, or Australian-made products, and starting to introduce the Madewell collection.
Yep.
So there's about 7 or 8 brands there. Obviously something we wanted to do 7 years ago but couldn't do it from day one. But that was the vision. But we obviously had to grow as a business, grow financially, to be able to then bring on the Madewell collection. So now you'll start seeing a good range of Madewell collection, which everything still sits in the core of innovation, high quality, but how do we then bring that price down to make it commercial for our contractors to save $1 where they can, but still use great products. So that sort of DNA runs through everything we do today from 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And guys do have some really, really cool things out there, that's for sure. And I'd like to chat a bit more about that in a bit. But Gabe, we'll bring you in, mate. How did you come about into Madewell and what's your role?
Yeah, so I came into Madewell 3 years ago, before a contractor, now as a training and sales specialist. Obviously pushing innovation and pushing the products that Madewell provide to obviously end users and even resellers alike as well. My big part there is obviously hand-to-hand combat with these guys and, really getting on the ground and on the tools as well. So,
and that's the good thing, you got that experience there to bring in and...
Yeah, correct. Yeah, a lot of guys I really connect with on that level with them because I have been there down on the ground doing the same thing. So I can share a really good insight using the product beforehand. I used it for, 3 years before coming to Madewell, especially with DuraBar mainly. So having that experience and that knowledge behind that just gave me that leg up to really help people along that way as well.
That's awesome. So on the DuraBar, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a fibreglass reinforcement that replaces steel.
Correct.
So is that what you were primarily using when you were coming in?
Before when I came in, correct.
When you came in.
Yeah, so when I was concreting, I was just using obviously DuraBar and replacing all the steel mesh. It just made obviously a lot of sense for the business I was working for. But yeah, it obviously stems from that now. Like Madewell's grown in that 3 years time. Like
it's a household name around our industry.
Yeah. Well, when I came on, there was, I don't know, maybe 10 brands and it feels like there's 50 now. So maybe more, a lot more. So the innovation side of things, and it's all products that I've, personally used as well. And it's been good to be able to share that stuff with everyone and have the knowledge about it.
So what type of products? Obviously got the DuraBar. What else?
We've got our own fibreglass boards that replace timber LVLs or timbers, whatever, 9045s, as boxing and edge boards. Yep. Obviously, tying tools, retarders and sealers, our own lighting range that we do now as well, which is, kind of across the board from, landscapers to anything you need lights for, camping, whatever. Machinery, compacting, the compaction range. It just goes on. Anything that, construction needs, we got it.
Fantastic. I have seen the LVL replacement boards on your website. So with that, that's something that you just keep reusing for your edge beams. Is that correct?
Just as an edge board, correct. So it's a lightweight product designed to last for as long as you can look after it. Doesn't swell or absorb water or anything like that. So removing that timber component out of it and just as an edge board, been a really good product.
Cool. I'll bring you in on this one, mate. I had a question in terms of, as a landscaper, what are the products that you find that are most commonly used by landscapers?
I think I'll just jump back to Gabe. I think he undersells himself, Gabe, because he's
a humble man. He's a humble man. I can hear it.
Contractors are, right? So, as you know, but yeah, I mean, Gabe goes over and beyond with his conversation with contractors. I think, touching back on Gabe, because it's extremely important. Gabe is the type of person in the business, and we've got a few more in there. We're lucky enough to have him, that listen and act. And listen, and where they can, will actually go out on site and show, right? Where possible.
So do the demos and things like that.
Do the
show
demos
the crews.
and show, like, get out there at 5 a.m, get out there after hours. Like, they'll go over and beyond. Now, as a contractor, you've had hurt points through your 10 years of journey and understand the importance of having someone out there to help you get out of the shit, get out of trouble, whatever you want to call it. And Gabe has always maintained, and the people in our office always maintained, contractor-first mentality. So
that's fantastic.
I need to jump in now. I knew I was had to jump in there before I answered the question.
Well, Milky Bars are on you. Milky Bars are on you, Gabe. That was a really good thumbs up there, mate.
You always understand.
I think taking away the stress with not knowing something, it's, I answer a lot of questions of, is this the right way to do this? Should I be doing this? If I had someone there to stop me before I did it wrong and then had to figure it out how to fix it, it would have been really good.
As a consumer, if someone came to site like yourself with that experience that's going to be teaching the product, you take it on so much more rather than someone that's just done it through textbook. So
yeah.
That's a really seems like a really good combo.
I never had that combo. So when I started off, I was very book based, because that also works because you're still given the right information. but I couldn't confidently say I was out there as a contractor and this is my shortcuts of how I did it, or this is who I've spoken to that's done it different ways. So to have the guys in the office that can actually do that is fantastic, right? So we've all sort of found our area in the business, and we're very lucky to have people like Gabe in our business and the rest of the crew that actually understand contractors and have been contractors. But yes.
We learn with our hands and by doing it, right?
Exactly.
So if someone can actually come out and show us how to actually do it without reading off a piece of paper, you pick it up like that.
But it's good that you got the support there too, to say if I'm doing something and I stuff up, I can give you a call and come out, help out, or whatever you need. So that's really, really good.
And sharing the knowledge, Adam, is a big one. So, you know, Gabe, over 3 years, think about how many leads have come through, how many people we've spoken to nationally that all have their own tips and points of how they do things. And Gabe's this sponge that can share knowledge in his space, right? So he's not just an account person. I'll be like, okay, here you go. Here's a transaction. Here's the invoice. Wait for payment. Off he goes. No, he's like soak, sponge, share the knowledge.
Do you find that you do get lots of calls from contractors, Gabe?
Oh, yeah.
Like calling saying, I need help with this or that?
Yeah.
Because sometimes some people might be a bit like, reserved with it.
People always are, and they don't want to be obviously known to that they don't know what they're doing, right? And besides that, there's 90% of people that are more than happy to call me up and be like, Gabe, I'm stuck here, or what do I do here? And it's daily. It's daily.
Well, that's fantastic, because that's going to be me soon, mate, because I'm going to be getting the DuraBar set up. So,
whether
that's
it's,
awesome.
Reinforcement, so DuraBar to sealing, or something's gone wrong, there's actual like a concrete issue from my background, like, what's happened to this? Why do you think it's done this? It's definitely, it's a bigger reach than just selling someone something. It's actually calling me to ask me just a quick question and then keep moving. And so it's, it goes a lot more than just being a supply house. What Madewell is, it's,
awesome.
And there's a few of these that have happened. I'll bring up one because that's the first one that's come in front of mind. But one of the guys will drive past, see a slab, like they're losing the slab. Concrete's going off, they're losing it. Drive back into the office, load curing products, like the catalyst, for example, throw it in the back of the truck, fly back down there and say, boys, quick, get this on the slab, and then save the slab, right? We don't know who these people are.
I was going to say, is this random?
Literally random, right? And this has happened. And this is, I mean, the passion that these guys have for what they do, and they just get it and they understand it. So there's a lot of that happens behind the scenes that we'll continue to do. Our biggest challenge will be, how do we find another 100 Gabes, right? So we realise that that's not going to happen. So, but we'll probably go into the whole reseller model and what we do from a marketing perspective that will help bridge that gap.
So maybe what we can do, Curly, is here have a discussion about that section there, if you don't mind, about the development and everything like that.
So, I mean, again, rare breeds, we can't have enough of them, right? So we have already started moving away from, well, not moving away, sorry, but more, bringing the digital marketing side into the business to share the knowledge into, we've got great clips now on our YouTube channel of product spotlights. Now, these little segments are just about each individual product. They go for about, between 30 seconds and a minute. And then we've got another segment called the Knowledge Hub. Now, these are probably more 4 or 5 minutes, which take you end to end on the product, the solution for the contractor, the builder, and then sort of takes you through the key benefits of the product or the system, right, or the process. So we've realised pretty quickly that's an investment that we need to make to continue that process, and then start supporting our reseller network. So, and this is where it's sort of Madewell where it's at the moment. Yes, we've got over 50 brands. They'll continue to grow, but we've still got selected key products that we will take nationally through a distribution model. I think a couple of years ago when we were talking, we just got Bowens on board. They're continuing to sell reinforcement, which they've been around for over 120 years. Never had the likes of selling reinforcement. So new category for them, which is quite exciting. And we're sort of taking them through the concreting journey and becoming that go-to. Mitre 10 have got 1,800 locations, so trying to get around to them is challenging. But we've covered probably, I'd say, 40 stores at the moment. Adelaide's, we've got some resellers there. So we're just sort of ticking away and trying to bridge the gap between our products, our contractor, and our reseller partners or distribution partners. So we'll continue to sort of move down that path. And the reason for that is, Gabe will speak to someone from Queensland and be like, fuck, Gabe, this is awesome. How do I get this? Well, you're going to have to wait 2-3 days, mate. I'm going to have to get it on a pallet, get it over to you. Can you unload it? Yeah, mate, I can unload it, but I sort of need it tomorrow. It's reinforcement. So there's times where we can catch it, and there's times where it's just impossible to try and supply nationally reinforcement. Right?
Yeah,
So-
definitely.
So I think of it as steel mesh, right? And then I have a lot of these conversations of, we want to be exclusive to this product. We want Nike on the shelf. It's like, that's all well and good, but you cannot take on all the reinforcement of this product in your state, right? So yes, it's more about bridging the gap because as the material grows in a lot more application and sectors, we need more people selling it. So
Yeah, absolutely. So going back to the Knowledge Hub side of it, I did notice it. Obviously, it's on the website. So anyone who wants to be familiar with Madewell and the products, Knowledge Hub will give you the instructions through each product.
Yeah, so the Knowledge Hub is it's sort of broken up with our articles and blogs, which have had a lot of thought go into them. And there is like a GFRP guide that effectively has, all the ISO accreditations, the technical data sheets, the environmental product declarations. So if you are looking at carbon emission points, or if you're trying to look at, durability, there's everything on that Knowledge Hub there under the GFRP guide. Pretty much gives you a lot of what you need to get started as an engineer or someone just trying to gain knowledge.
Yep.
And yes, the YouTube videos go straight back to our YouTube channel, and there's product spotlights and knowledge hubs.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It would have been good to have them all on there, but we're chipping away at the ones that are sort of that are of importance now, and then working our way through it.
Well, and that's it. I think as a landscaper and other landscapers out there, the main product from what I'm assuming they'd be starting with is the DuraBar. Yep. So with the DuraBar, Gabe, with the knowledge of it, for example, engineering-wise and spacings and everything, have you guys got specs of spacings
We've
depending
got
on
a
the
guide
slabs?
that, kind of guides down the lines of what you're replacing if you're using like a 72, 82, 92 mesh in replacement of, that gives you the spacing guide. It's best to, the more you complicate it, it's just reinforcement most of the time of what we do. The landscapers and concreters, driveways, footpaths, all this stuff. It's just reinforcement.
Yeah.
Following the spacings, whether you're someone that uses 82 all the time because that's what you use, or 92 or 72, it's just following them spacings. So 72, 500, 82, 450, 92, 400. Yeah. That's all you have to do. Put it on bar chairs, pour concrete over the top of it.
Done.
That's it.
That's really, really cool. That's light. It's a lot lighter, and you can store a fair bit of it, I'm assuming.
Yeah, lots of it. So, I used to run about 1,000 bars on my trailer all the time, which was, what's that, 1,500 square metres worth of Rio or bar. Lightweight, easy to do. Anyone can do it. You can do it by yourself. If the job's pretty much ready to go, you need to get to another one. So leave one person there with the gun, tie gun, and get moving.
And that tie gun, I'm assuming, would be worth every penny.
Every penny. Definitely every penny. Probably one of the better tools definitely out there. It goes hand in hand. You don't need it, but you can use it for everything, really.
So
Anything.
Anyone that doesn't know, do you want to explain about the tie gun, like what it exactly is?
Yeah, so it's just an automatic rebar tying tool. Pull trigger, and it obviously spits out and spins and ties your bar for you. There's obviously a few different brands out there, whether you want to spend X or spend X. There's definitely two variants to that. But if you got the money, definitely spend it on one. They'll change your life.
Yeah, I remember seeing it years and years ago, and I was thinking, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, people will spend like even small guys, like 1-2 man armies will just be like, I need this thing. Like everyone loves tools, right? We all love having cool shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And
just tying everything together.
Yeah. There's no point doing it if you can't have cool stuff, right? Like, cool trowels and cool tools and, best on the shelf. And, some guys are really up the opposite side of that and be like, no, I don't need that shit. Don't need it. What are you doing it for then?
Yeah, exactly.
But with where labour's going at them, I think that, the
100%.
I think lightweight reinforcement, lightweight, LVL replacement like new lumber, DuraBar obviously for the reinforcement, and then these tying tools where you can actually either pull back or get your work done quicker.
Yeah, exactly. Without tying your fingers together.
Yeah, tying your fingers together.
You can use one hand, free the other hand up while you're on the phone.
Yeah, but we service, national precast companies and big commercial guys, and, listening to them after their 10th or 20th tool, they've saying, we're 4 paws behind. Now we're 4 paws in front. And these are, between, 10 and 80,000 square metre paws, big Amazon floors and stuff. So the fact that these are the guys that are running the steel fixing actually saying this is what this tool is doing, It's an amazing tool.
Funny that you said that, because I think every week you sort of look at things and go, it's labour, whatever. And there are lots of cool things coming out that will reduce that side of the labour component. But on that, would you say that the fibreglass reinforcement things is your point of difference in the market?
DuraBar, I think, GFRP in general brings a lot of people to our business because it is obviously a sustainable and a lot of the time solution-based reinforcement to a lot of their problems, right? Whether it is magnetic issues or interference with applications where steel can't be in the application, and they're trying to find out ways to do it. So obviously the materials, non-conductive, non-corrosive, extremely sustainable, and non-magnetic. So, when you're thinking sort of, major road sort of projects or Department of Transport projects, you're looking at pontoons, jetties, rail, TBM boring through all these big projects that are happening now, easy to cut through. So when you sort of start thinking of, whether they're big applications or as simple as paving applications, it's just, and, let's talk about where DuraBar was born. Right? DuraBar was born working on all these big projects. And then we're like, well, why can't we use the same material at a different grade to actually replace your smaller diameter mesh or bar? And that's pretty much where DuraBar was born. So we looked at a cost-effective commercial approach where the material is pretty much giving you all the same benefits. It gives you exact same benefits as some of the other grades that are used in bigger projects or bigger applications.
Is it made in Australia or offshore?
It's made offshore at the moment. So, we got manufacturing in India, China, Canada, UAE. So the UAE is actually a big one at the moment with where they're pushing sustainability. But, we would love to manufacture in Australia, and that's definitely the plan.
I think it's something that is definitely going to be taking off in its own right, because even us, we've got the truck, we can't even fit the mesh on, but the DuraBar would go on beautifully. Yeah. So...
we just did one yesterday with a guy that came in. Sole purpose is why he wanted to use DuraBar was doesn't want to carry mesh anymore.
Yeah.
He's 55 years old. He's done. He just literally came in. He's like, mate, I've been looking at this stuff for ages. I just did this job, carry mesh. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore.
Wow.
I'm moving to this. And then went out there, did the demo with him. He's just like, mate, he's just get it dropped off and he can do it all by himself. Doesn't need to worry about anyone. Doesn't have to rely on anyone.
Gabe's sister actually used to work where Gabe worked once upon a time, and I remember going out on site and speaking to her when Gabe was still working there, and she was like, if there was, a sheet of 72 or 82, you're looking at 40 to 50 kilos plus, and she's trying to carry the back of it, dragging. Now she was grabbing, when you guys moved to DuraBar back then, she was grabbing 20 bars per bundle, which is the equivalent of 2 sheets of, 72 or 82 mesh. So that's over 100 kilos, and it ends up being 16 or 17 kilos in equivalent. She was carrying that on her shoulder by herself with a tying tool.
What a unit. It's awesome.
Because of the way it's bundled too, it's actually, it's not difficult to actually have that on your shoulder and walk through.
And it doesn't rust.
Doesn't rust, no. 100% non-corrosive, rust-free.
That is really, really good, especially as you said about the sustainability things and where things are going these days. It's a huge part of it, isn't it? It
is, Adam, yeah. And funny enough, a lot of these times with these products, it's like non-corrosive, sustainable, lighter, easy to use, better in tensile, so stronger than steel, better with shrinkage control. It's like, okay, what's the catch? How much? It's like, it's cheaper in most cases, in nearly every case, I think, replacing 72 mesh. So it's like, shut up and take my money kind of
think scenario. It's going to be, exactly. Just take it, write the check and take it. So if I wanted to order your products, obviously in store, I'm assuming, online, Gabe?
Yeah, look, in store, online, our reseller partners, Bowens, Mitre 10s, depending on where you are, if it's, kind of not where we are, we can obviously point you in that direction. Yeah, get your deliveries. There's a lot of locations around Melbourne.
Yep.
Whether in Adelaide or obviously Queensland, that is our biggest hurt point, Tassie's anywhere. But yeah, obviously call us up. We can get the bit of an idea of what you're doing, go through the square meterage, what you do, what you have, and get an order in and come out and give it a crack.
I'll throw this back to you, Gabe. Where do you see the future of the innovation and the tools and things that are coming through?
When I first started, I was quite scared. I always said to Kerr, I was like, fuck, this is getting a bit big, it's getting a bit big, it's getting a bit big. And it gets quite daunting sometimes because there's more, it feels like you can feel it growing, right? So it's more and more people want to use bar, there's more and more projects, there's more and more people adopting it, doing engineering, changing designs from whatever they're doing. So with the bar, I feel like it will just continuously grow because a lot of people want to, they don't want to miss out. It's the fear of missing out. They want to use something that's different. Steel, it's been used for however long. It's, let's try something different that's going to be better. Innovation, that will just continuously grow. Madewell will constantly push that and, try lead innovation, not just in the reinforcement space, but, whatever's coming through. Jared, the founder, is always looking for that next cool thing to bring to the Australian market. So it will just forever grow, I think. There's always something cool. People will definitely rely. A lot of my customers say, I haven't spoken to for a while. I'll be like, what do you got now? What's new? Yeah. What's new on the shelf? And I'll be like, oh, well, this is what's new. This is what the cool new thing is. But yeah, as long as we stay, front foot of that and keep bringing in cool new things in, people just want to, will just continuously follow and want us to keep using that stuff.
Coolabah Turf is an award-winning grower of premium, drought-tolerant, self-repairing instant turf for Victorian residential, council and commercial landscape customers. Create the perfect backyard with your next project. The kind where barefoot kids chase balls and dreams, where family pets run wild and free, and where summer barbecues with friends and neighbours turn into memories that last a lifetime. Get in touch with the friendly crew at Coolabah Turf today. Call 1800 055 515 or visit coolturf.com.au. LV members who mention this ad will get free delivery on their first order.
So, Kerl, you said it's Jared who's the owner, is that right?
Yeah,
and
Jared's the founder, yep.
The founder, you mentioned before about America. It started in America, then came here?
Came to Australia, went to America for a bit and then came back to Australia. That's where it sort of started before Madewell Products was even born. Not much has changed with, finding what's next. So Jared now is pretty much full-time role in the business is trade shows all around the world.
Right.
Development, product development. And just really keeping his ears on the ground of what's happening in the industry and pivoting extremely fast. So, Jared, I wish we had – I know I've been saying this for 6 years and I still haven't done anything about it, but I always wish I had Jared on a podcast calling it, whether it's 12 months or 24 months before it happens. And from the last 6-7 years, he's saying, this is where it's going. 2 years later, that's where it's at.
And then it goes there.
But we're fortunate that we can actually be like, okay, Jared, if that's where you can see it going and, you've obviously got, the foresight to see that. And where does that come from? I guess his own knowledge, his knowledge of being a contractor, his knowledge having the contractor and the supply business model intertwined and getting out there. He still goes out and does a bit of concreting.
I think stepping back and seeing it from,
stepping back and seeing it from a different lens,
Yeah, you can see what's happening.
But getting out, he's still out on site today. Like
he still goes out in concrete.
If you looked at Mackay not long ago, you'll see it on our YouTube channel. Massive pour there. I think it's big pour. A lot of our machineries and a lot of our tools and literally the whole concrete methodology was done by Jared. Concrete mixers, everything. And he went out there, 2 a.m. starts, 10 days straight.
2 a.m. starts.
2 a.m. starts because you got to beat the weather in Mackay, right?
I think it was 12.
12, sorry. 12 a.m. wake up, 2 a.m. concrete.
Yeah.
And he got out there for 10 days straight with the crew, beers after the day's end and just got at it every single day. So it's
still loves it. So he's got a passion.
He's
got a serious passion.
He's got a serious passion for it. Can he do it every day? Probably not anymore. The body's cooked it, right? And he always says, if I had today's technology, I would have been even more of a dangerous unit back then.
I think there's been a few moments where he says he might remove that tattoo of his, but
what's the tattoo?
He's just got a concrete tattoo on it, and
of course he does.
He earns it and deserves it, right? So he's still out there, sweat and blood and doing
his thing. He's
still
on the ground,
swinging off an axe, whenever he can, helping out whoever he can.
But that's the best thing about it is if you have such a passion for the industry like that, that's what's going to make it successful in its own right.
Yeah.
Because you enjoy doing it. Yeah,
for sure, Adam.
Does he live in Melbourne or?
Yeah, he's in Melbourne. Yep. He's down the peninsula. We're all sort of down out the way where the office is, I guess, except for Gabe and Nick.
We live in the hills.
In the hills?
Yeah.
Endeavour Hills?
Like Mumbolk area.
Yeah, but we're obviously we're located in Carrum Downs there, Yazaki Way, number 18. Like I think what we mentioned earlier is how do we speed to market. So you're talking about the different channels. Yeah, we've got e-commerce. We've got to come into our showroom. We'll deliver. We'll get you an Uber package and be there within 15 minutes.
Yep. Wow.
Before Uber packages was a thing, we were onto this a long time ago.
Wow. Was that Jared's idea or was that?
No, I think that was probably just more how do we get it to our customer quick?
Yeah.
Our driver's busy. Well, let's look at Uber Courier.
It was using Ubers first. We're just using normal Ubers.
We're using normal Ubers, yeah.
How do they fit stuff in their little?
There is limits. There's a 20 kilo limit.
I think they like it too. They'd rather not talk to someone or have someone in their car. You walk up with a drum or some wire or not bar. You obviously can't put bar in the car.
That's what I was thinking.
Just cut them into 1 metre pieces out the windows. Nah, these are all sort of curing your evap blocks, your sealers, your skimmer lids, which is used heavily in the landscape industry. Pretty much anything that you could sort of grab and put in the boot, they'll take. Anything bigger than that needs to go on either our truck or
you can push the limits pretty hard though. I think they say like 20 kilo limit, but you could go 100. Okay. You can push it to 100.
150. I see the wheels deflating.
When someone needs something right, you just got to get it to them. So you do whatever you can.
Even if they're dragging the car up with no wheels, it's just get it to the supply, get it to the contractor. So stores in Carrum Downs. Any other stores on the horizon?
We've always looked at, we've discussed what, DCs look like around the country. But I think it's grown to a point more than just having another Madewell store. I think it's more now hone in to continue to support our resellers, which is all relationships with resellers. It's like, can we trust you? We trust the product. Can we trust you? Us, obviously, capturing the marketing, pretty much qualifying the lead and then pushing it back through our reseller model creates a lot of trust and awareness around the relationship. So as that continues to sort of grow, we'll just continue to sort of try and filter through our reseller partners and look at what a DC looks at it in each state. But again, we're not at that point yet. We've still got a lot to do here.
What does DC mean, sorry?
Like a distribution centre.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's probably going to be the quickest way to get sort of speed to market with these products as it grows.
With the products coming through, I guess, Gabe, obviously Bowens, you guys have a contract with Bowens. Are you regularly in touch with them in terms of?
I've got a few guys that I solely deal with. Yeah. And then I'll obviously have a contractor and I've obviously done the first deal with them and then I'll just literally pass their information across to, someone at Bowens, an account manager. They'll contact them, get an account set up like that. And then that's pretty much that relationship there, right? So it's pushing that kind of stuff back through. Mitre 10's obviously the same as well, but having them stores around just makes it so much easier because there's reinforcements everywhere, and having to come all the way down to Carrum Downs sometimes can be quite hard when you're west side or something. So
that's how I heard about you guys was from Bowens in Cheltenham. Yeah, parents like a flock of seagulls coming over. You seen this DuraBar? I was like, what? So that's good. That was good.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, they were really, really pushing it.
The other thing, Adam, it's when we first started, like the reinforcement space, we're constantly looking at where, from a commerciability standpoint, cost per square metre versus this product. And then during COVID, we saw, obviously a massive sort of swing. But one thing we've always done, and we continue to do today, is have the same price in every state. So you can be confident, Adam, if you're quoting a job or tendering a job and you win it, you know that price
is the price.
It has not changed for 5 years.
Yeah.
Think about what's happened in 5 years with COVID, with price of materials, with shipping charges and everything else. We've been able to maintain the same price. Now people ask, well, how do you do that? Because everything has gone up. It's volume. So a lot of companies will build volume and make more margin. We've just more volume and made sure the contractor, back to the opening line, is make sure contractors first. So we want to continue to make sure that the contractor is still buying it at that price.
So you can obviously hold that price if you're getting more out.
We're getting more volume, so our volumes, obviously our buying power is getting better over time. And instead of sort of taking that on, we're just giving that back to the contractor effectively through our resellers or through the business. So, but it's been the same price for 5 years, has not changed.
And that's such a good benefit to contractors because, as you said, it does shift in those few years, like.
Well, think about the COVID times and how many people quoted for jobs, won the tender or won the job, and then everything went up by 30% and they've had to honour it. I mean, we know the stories. So we're probably the only business that sort of maintained where we could. We fought really, really hard, and it all came from the volume, really. The more volume we did, the better pricing we got. And instead of charging more, a lot of business out there either charge more because they had to, or some just charge more because it was the space we're in, right? It's like everyone was expected to pay more. Yeah, which we did the complete opposite of that.
It's exciting to hear where things are going, especially with the sustainability side of things and the development. So, yeah. On that, though, I was just having a bit of a think the other day, and obviously you guys are LV Bronze Partners.
Yep.
And you're going to be hosting a masterclass coming up soon, potentially.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So would that be, Gabe, you there running through products?
Yeah, I think there'll be... Yeah, we haven't really brushed over too much, but it'll be as it kind of sounds, right? So it'll be that side of things, going over products, new products that are out there that no one really knows about that can be used to help them, whether they're doing driveways or this architectural concrete that's becoming more and more of a big thing, and that's in nearly every single landscape project now. So more and more landscapers are taking on that kind of work. It'll be a big brush over a lot of things, from reinforcement to curing aids to finishing aids to the new tools that are out there, formwork. Hopefully we can really get a good insight on all that. And
we definitely want to make it interactive, Adam.
It has to be interactive, yeah.
Even at the World of Concrete in Vegas, we go most years, every year.
What an after party that'd be, huh?
Yeah. Terrible place to be. I hate going.
It needs to be hands on.
Yeah.
We're all hands on.
We're all hands on.
Everyone's hands on.
But a lot of these trade shows aren't. If you think about it, in Australia, there's not. I just got back from the concrete. 2025 Expo for 3 days. You wouldn't know if you were either at a concrete show or at a homeware fashion show. It's still booth by booth by booth by booth. No loud tools, no machinery. There's nothing concrete. Well, I didn't even say concrete. We're probably the only booth that actually had concrete in our booth, showcasing it in some format.
So everyone else is all quiet, then you guys are there. Well, that's good. That's good.
But it's I think what we want to do with the industry night is connect industry with a hands-on approach, whether it's pre-formed up or, I'd love to get a truck pulled up and pour some concrete in situ. I would love to go to that. But again, we've got to talk to Sean at Chisholm, that me and Richie obviously work with closely on advisory board. So, it'll be a good mix of sort of what's happening in their space with their courses and their updates. Obviously, some innovations of what's happening in our space that I can probably talk at there, and obviously having Gabe on site with Nick and a few more of our guys with maybe an artisan concrete architectural guru.
And that's it. The architectural concrete side of things is going through the roof.
It is.
It's
massive,
almost every job you're doing barbecues and outdoor kitchens.
Gabe spends a lot of his time
I've got a lot
working with these guys.
A lot of customers and learned a lot about it, and it's everything. It's everything now. I've got customers that are just solely that, or just doing that as well. It's massive, and it needs to be touched on and talked about more and more, and there's lots to learn about it. Do
you think there's enough people, Gabe, actually with that skill set to be able to meet the demand? Because there's two ways to look at this. It's I want it all to myself because this is what I've been doing for 10 years. My thoughts are, because we've obviously got national thoughts on our ideas, is if something's growing so fast, is there enough people with that skill set to keep up with demand?
It depends. You can be doing anything and anything, regardless of whether it's concreting or someone's always a master at something, and someone can always do it, right, as well as 100 other things. So I think there'll always be a range for it. There's always, driveways have been going down for however long, and there's a market just for someone doing driveways. I think there will always be a market for this kind of work, whether you're a landscaper or a concreter or someone that's just doing it solely. It'll be non-stop. I don't think there will be ever end to it. It'll just be the next cool thing coming through, which I don't know what that would be. Once upon a time it was cement sheeting and rendered that as a barbecue bench, and now it's forming up and make it out of concrete. The
thing about the barbecues is what scared me off at the start is you look at the finished product and go, oh, how do we do this? But obviously it's all about the practice, about the timing. And after a while,
it's all about reading concrete.
Yeah, exactly. And working with the timing, because if not,
right mixes.
Dear God.
Right tools, right products too.
Yeah. Reading concrete, right tools, right products, stripping times. There's a lot involved that you can stuff it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
Really
It's
fucking
expensive.
Yeah.
It's inexpensive.
Concrete's horrible at the best of times, let alone trying to craft something like that out of it. And you see what some people do, like it's fucking wild what they can do and what people do with concrete. It's just imagination what you can do.
And that's it. And there are a few companies a fair few years ago that really took it and pushed it hard. And I think a few of them actually, they sort of do their masterclasses, they've got their own courses and things like that to teach people. They're sharing the gift, you know what I mean? Trying to share it through. So
Zambilis does Johnny Zambilis Concrete Artistry does a really good one, hands-on. Stood away from the online and really did just a hands-on, which is really good. I've gone out to that just to kind of obviously showcase Madewell with bar and the products we sell to that whole market to John. And it's perfect, a hands-on experience with it. Just even if you grab 10% out of it and you feel like you know the 90%, that 10% is just that knowing that you're on the right track or you're doing the right thing. If you can grab 10% of a trick or anything like that, it's fucking worth every penny because you don't know, this architectural stuff costs a lot of money and there's a lot of work that goes into it. And, you know, even if you don't do the full thing from, you know, form to pour and then strip, finish, seal, there's a whole other side to like polishing and processing and patching and, you know, colour variation. There's so much involved with it.
That's the good thing about the masterclass is obviously if it were to continue through, the good thing about part of the Landscape Victoria network is that you can teach all these landscapers coming through. Is that something, a vision of yours?
Absolutely,
you want to keep doing it?
Absolutely. Let's use, Concrete Institute of Australia, we've been platinum members there for the last 5 years. It's like, how do we continue to give back and support? And that's whether it's, free webinars or our time or, whatever it may be, it's always giving back, sponsoring events, being at events, being hands-on. So we want to obviously do the same with LV. We want to make sure we offer, the LV database and community special offers just for them at Madewell Products. I want to be able to sort of work in with some of these courses if they're interested in doing that and sort of, again, be the bridge the gap between what they need and what we can offer them.
You guys would probably be involved in the landscape show again. You did the coffee. Was it this year? Was it?
Yeah. So the coffee came. The funny thing is with the coffee, I was at a trade show and sustainability was obviously spoken about over the last couple of years in a big way, and still continues to be. But I was walking around, everyone's talking about how important sustainability is, and everyone had plastic cups drinking coffee, right? And I was looking around, there was like 1,000 people drinking plastic cups. I'm like, if we're going to really talk about sustainability and do something, yes, we've got a social responsibility as a business to do something, and every business does for sustainability. But the most consumed product in the world is needs to be a talking point. So that's pretty much where it came. We met with I'm Not Paper is their business, which is 100% plant pulp, their coffee cup and their lids. And I'm like, well, let's partner with someone. I mean, we're not there to sell coffee cups, but we're there to actually promote sustainability in every sort of facet of our business. So that's where it all sort of stemmed from. So we sponsored the coffee cart, but we said if we're going to sponsor it, we're not using plastic. Let's use plant pulp, which is 100% biodegradable.
Well, there's an idea for you: the DuraBar coffee cup.
Yeah,
fiberglass cup.
Ooh. Gee, that'd be a bit of a actually scratch that. I don't think we should.
Wouldn't be too nice. It's quickly growing though. Look, 3x3 last time. Just from the first one that obviously Curl and Jared did to now, it's the brands. Just awesome.
I think we're learning. Products. Yeah, we're learning that landscapers want to touch and feel, see the latest.
Yep.
And we're getting that from the feedback at the booth, and every year just gets busier and busier. I mean, we had 3-4 nearly, and we had people, and we couldn't keep up again this year. So. Yeah, but credit to the entire Landscape Victoria team. They put on a really, really good show with high quality people, and it's actually it's one of my favourite days now. Yeah,
it's a lot going on.
It was huge.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, over 1,000, I think 1,500 exhibitors or something. And
and then it's up and it's down in like 48 hours. It's crazy.
Yeah,
there's so much goes into it, and then it's all just disappeared the next day. It's
I reckon
one hell of a stage crew.
We should go 2-day event. I reckon, Gabe, 2-day event.
Definitely 2-day event.
For the people that can't make it on day one.
You're cunning. You're far out, man. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Look, before we finish up, anything else you want to chat about? Is there something in the concrete industry, in the construction industry, that you think maybe needs to change at all, besides what you've spoken about with your sustainability and fiberglass reinforcement?
Staying on the forefront of new products is the key.
Mindset.
The labour's not coming. That guy ain't coming for you. He's not going to be there to help you out, he or she. So staying in front of innovative products, what's coming out, being in touch with them things and getting on the forefront of it before it costs you money. Like, I think that's really all you can really be doing.
It's 100%, Gabe. Mindset for me.
Mindset.
Whether, I deal with a lot of engineers, and a lot of it comes down to mindset and what they know. Some are really good to develop and learn, and some are just like, well, why would I change? This is what I'm doing. But again, as a business owner, as you know, Adam, it's like your mindset is everything.
Absolutely.
Going to bed at night, waking up in the morning and just making that change. And it could be sometimes the slightest changes.
2025, you have to be willing to change now, and just adapt to what's happening.
Things are moving so quickly as well. So you do need to make sure you got your finger on the pulse with.
You got to,
If you've got the innovation there, then
give it a go. Yeah. Nothing to lose. Like, you're either just going to keep on doing what you're doing, or you change something. It's going to make your life that much better. Like,
the people that switch to DuraBar, Gabe, they either happen straight away. Some have been on the fence for like 2 years, then they switch. And then my question is like, why now? I saw my competitor doing it. Okay, well, that was your reason to switch. Let's go back for 2 years and look at how much money you could have saved. Thousands, right? This is holidays with the family. This is like extra mortgage repayments, like life-changing money that could have either gone to leisure or gone to building their business even further. So I think making a change when you think it's right and changing your mindset and just moving with the times is so important, because the quicker you move, the quicker it's going to be.
And I think that
the better the be for your business, Adam,
when people use the product, it'll sell itself, I think, on its own accord, for what we spoke about earlier on. But look, guys, thank you very much for coming in, Gabe, Curl.
Thanks,
it was an absolute pleasure.
It was great.
And look forward to seeing what else comes out with
Madewell.
Madewell.
On site soon, mate. And we'll
Absolutely. I want to see a demo. What, the fiberglass coffee cups? Thanks, boys.
Good idea. Thanks, Adam.
Good on you, Adam.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Front Garden, brought to you by Landscaping Victoria and backed by Coolabah Turf, proud supporters of the landscaping industry. Don't forget to follow the podcast on your favourite platforms so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's chat, share it with your crew, your mates, or on your socials. Let's keep growing this community together. I'm Adam Hompas. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you next time on the next episode of The Front Garden.